Hi, welcome to This Week in Ames. I'm Susan Guiazda. On today's show, we'll check in with our Public Works Department. My guest today is Eric Cowles, civil engineer with the Public Works Department here at the City of Ames. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I've had you as a guest in several different capacities here at the City of Ames. Tell me a little bit about your background.
I actually used to work at the DOT for a number of years and then spent a little time in industry, and then had the opportunity to move back home and work with the City of Ames. I was construction supervisor for 4 years, and the last 4+ years I've been the civil engineer, helping to coordinate and work through designs and right-of-way and development and things like that with Public Works.
Yeah, so you have your hands on a lot of different projects here at the city.
I do.
And you've had experience with a lot of different perspectives, basically on scene, supervising sites to doing design work.
Yep, and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of challenges, a lot of interesting projects, but it's been a lot of fun to do.
So a current project you're involved in is one that I think affects a lot of people and has generated a lot of interest. That is the extension of University Boulevard south of US 30.
Yeah, we've got a project. The city actually received some RISE funds, a sizable grant to the city to expand the research park.
And that RISE fund is from the state of Iowa.
Correct. The research park was very involved in getting that funding, and the cities are the only ones who can receive those funds, so we are the custodians of those funds, and we're working pretty closely with the research park to extend the utilities, water and sanitary sewer, and of course build a new road extending University South to what will be the new ISU Research Park hub building.
So the research park really is adding a lot of acres, increasing their buildings. It's really an exciting time, and the city's role in that, again, is what you just mentioned, is to expand the infrastructure to support that growth. Really some exciting things going on south of town, but also some opportunities to do things a little differently. Absolutely.
The original design concept actually considered roundabouts, and as we moved through the process, we're like, this is a really good thing to try. The traffic counts seem to line up pretty well with it. The tricky thing is that this is our first roundabout, and it's going to be very sizable, very impactful, as well as 2 other smaller roundabouts south of the roundabout that's going to be built at University and Airport Road. The 3 total, obviously University and Airport Road. There's going to be one at what will be the future Cottonwood extension coming out of the Ringerberg subdivision area. And then as you get a little further south, there'll be a roundabout that will actually go into the research park itself. So a good opportunity to actually have one of these put in a very functional way. And we'll have a lot of out-of-town people coming through the area. The in-town people will have to learn to navigate them, and it's going to be a big change for people coming through that area.
So let's just set the scene. For those who don't drive in this part of town very often, Airport Road and South University Boulevard is an intersection right now controlled by a 4-way stop.
That's correct.
On one side you have the Workiva building, which has gone through multiple expansions, very large, impressive building. Wessex apartment complex on another side. It's a busy intersection now. At those key times, morning and evening commute, it can really back up there. Tell me about how a roundabout will function.
So you're absolutely correct. Those noon and morning, or the morning and afternoon rushes, traffic does back up in there because people do have to come to a full stop. The principle behind a roundabout is to maintain a flow of traffic through the area, so you're not coming to a full stop and waiting for somebody to take their turn to navigate the intersection. The intent of it is you come up and you look to your left, because that's the only direction in which traffic is coming as you're coming through the roundabout, and if you're clear, you can slowly go through the intersection. So you've always got traffic rotating through the roundabout at all times, and it really does help move things along. There's definitely going to be an educational component to this, as we don't have a roundabout in town currently. The closest roundabout that we have is obviously Gilbert, that was installed a couple of years ago. This is going to be a little bit bigger scale. I've been talking to some of my peers around the state, and probably the closest ones that are out there right now that would be of similar capacity would be down in Johnston. on the south side of the road is Pioneer, on the north side of the road is the middle school and high school area for Johnston. So if people want to go out and navigate those or in the area, I mean, those would be very similar to what we're going to have in functionality.
So one thing that makes this one, again, you said a little bit bigger, it's at some point it's 2-lane.
That's correct. So to move traffic, the western side of it will be essentially a 2-lane roundabout that will morph into almost a single-lane roundabout on the east side. The intent there is that just the way the traffic moves through that area, that's kind of what was dictating that. One of the things that we are allowing for is we're designing this to handle traffic today with some future projections, but there is a plan to add some additional lanes, not within the roundabout, to help people navigate through as the research park continues to expand. So we do have some expansion opportunity there once the traffic counts, depending on what happens with the research park expansion and the amount of employees and traffic and things like that that come through.
So one thing when you approach a roundabout, and I don't have a lot of experience with them, but if you just want to make a right turn and in a traditional traffic intersection, you are waiting and waiting and waiting to make your right turn. You, in a roundabout, you just get to go.
That's correct in a very general sense, absolutely true. So as you come up to the roundabout, you as a vehicle, as you come up, the geometry of the roundabout actually swings you and makes you turn a little bit, which causes you to slow down. And as you do that, you'll come up to a pedestrian crossing, and vehicles are required to yield to pedestrians and bicycles in those crosswalks. So you've got to come up being aware of those surroundings as well. But if that's clear and there's nobody coming from the left, and you want to make a right-hand turn, where before in a normal intersection you got to come up and do a full stop legally, even though most people would probably do a rolling stop, you are able to essentially roll through that roundabout as long as the path is clear.
Now, you brought up pedestrians and bicyclists. One thing that the roundabout gives you is sort of these little islands of safety where you can kind of wait and then, cross the next lane of traffic.
Mm-hmm. Roundabouts actually do provide a nice safety feature for pedestrians and bicycles. We call those refuge islands between the lanes of traffic. So today, excuse me, if you want to cross University Boulevard from the west side to the east side at Airport Road, you have 5 points of conflict. When the roundabout is put in, so you have to essentially, with those 5 points of conflict, you have to look to your left for the 2 through lanes, as well as the turn lane that would be the movement from the southbound to eastbound. And then you have to look ahead to see who's coming to make that northbound passage as well. So you got 5 points of conflict. With the roundabout, you're going to come through and there's going to be a lane coming to the east, which would be the movement we just talked about, and you're only having to look to the left for vehicles. So you're looking there, and if that's clear, you can go, and that's the only the only impactful thing that you would have as you're coming up there. And then as you get to these islands, the refuge islands, you can cross a single lane of traffic, and if somebody is coming that you didn't see, it provides you an opportunity to stop there and wait for the lane to clear. And then you have that opportunity to continue on through the intersection. So it does provide some nice safety features.
Well, and I think like every driver, myself included, we all need to be more cognizant of the bikers and pedestrians.
Absolutely.
In our community. I find myself looking left and forgetting to look right, and forgetting that there might be a pedestrian or biker wanting to cross. And this also, like you mentioned, will take some time to get used to it. I'm looking forward to practicing, not at 5 o'clock
right.
or 8 a.m., but practicing the roundabout when maybe it's a low traffic time.
Sure, and they do function very, very well. There's lots of literature out there on them. People tend to either love them or hate them as they start out, usually more of the hate side of them. And once they're in place and people start to use them more, that the people who really don't like them, that population decreases.
Well, you get used to it.
You get used to it. So we're expecting that. We've kind of seen some of that. The peers that I've talked to out there that have installed these, I was just at a conference last week and we were going through some of the things that we've gone through, like, yep, you're about where we were. And you said a year from now, ask those same people what they really think. There's probably going to be some that will still dislike them, but the majority of those folks that dislike them in the beginning will actually come to appreciate them.
So what's the schedule? When can I be prepared to drive my vehicle through the roundabout?
So we anticipate bidding the project here in early May. We should have a contractor under contract by early to mid-June, and any time after that, I would assume they're going to break ground. So there has been some activity out there right now. We just did a tree clearing contract due to the Indiana bat restrictions on being able to take down trees. So we did a separate, smaller contract to do some tree clearing that's affecting the project. If you drive through there today, you're going to see some stumps at the University and Airport intersection. Those will be taken out with the grading project. Our intention is to just get the trees dropped. The nice thing that went along with that particular tree clearing is those were green ash trees, so they would have been slated for removal anyway with our emerald ash borer program. So kind of helped out with that a little bit. We also have on the street for bid right now the utility package. So we've got 3 contracts total. We have the tree package, the utility package, and the roadway package, which will be forthcoming. The utility package is out for bid right now, and that's the water and sanitary sewer that'll be going in. So the water main will connect on south of Workiva, and then also over on Riverside Drive, and we will loop that water main in and connect it in front of the hub building. So there'll be a continual water main loop out there to be able to serve those properties. And then the sanitary sewer, we're connecting into the main that runs along the creek there. So the infrastructure will be there within probably by the middle to end of November. We should be fully functional.
So by late fall, I should be driving.
Absolutely.
Well, good. That's something to look forward to. Well, let's look at things a little bit closer to the spring calendar.
Yeah.
We have a lot of big projects. This is the season for spring construction, street construction and reconstruction. Just what are some of the big projects on the horizon here for Ames neighbors?
So one we have underway right now, just started last week, is the reconstruction of Hayward. I wasn't the engineer on that project, but I can fill you in some of the gaps. It's from Lincoln Way up to, I believe, Arbor, and that's, I believe from Chamberlain to Arbor is the pavement's gone right now, so that's underway.
Right in front of the intermodal facility.
That's correct.
Where the buses come in and out, so a little change there in Campus Town.
A little bit of change there, and the intention is to maintain traffic through the intermodal facility at all times. So that's a large Campus Town impact there. We have another one over on West Street from Sheldon going west, and then where West and Woodland split, we're going to be working in those areas too. So if you're driving through that part of town, there's going to be some closures going on through there, and then there's some sanitary sewer repair that we're going to be doing at this intersection of Highland and West Street.
So that's sort of campus area. We've got some north projects.
Yeah, there's going to be probably the largest project going on the north side of town will be the reconstruction of 24th Street from the railroad tracks east to Northwestern Avenue. So traffic will be maintained through there at all times. SIRIDE will still maintain their routes through the area, but it's going to be very, very tight moving through there. What we typically find with our projects is the first few days, everybody's using their same traffic patterns that they've always used. And then they realize that it's inconvenient and they find different ways to navigate through those areas, which I fully expect in this case. But that's this year's construction. I don't have a start date on when they're going to go after that, but as a part of that as well, there's a small section of Bloomington Road east of Eisenhower that's also going to be done in conjunction with that project. Same project. I'm not sure the timing on when that's going to take off yet either.
Yeah, but some big projects ahead, and we do update those on our website, so people will have to look there for more information. Sure. Eric, thanks for joining us. Do you have another one?
I do. Since we're talking north, Grant Avenue. On the west side of Ada Hayden, the utilities were put in last fall, and we are going to bid that contract the same time we bid the research park contract in hopes that we can get some good pricing there. So that's essentially to take where the pavement ends at Hyde today and continue that up to 190th Street. So
yeah, that's a north-south connector.
Yep, that'll be a nice one to have done. It's been a long time coming, and I'm very excited to have that one get out the door.
Excellent. Well, clearly you're busy, and I'm glad you had a few minutes to stop by and join us.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks. You can get more information, as I said, on our website at cityofames.org. Look for construction updates, and we'll get that information updated for you as quickly as possible. Just some other items for your calendar. Remember, Yard Waste Free Day is scheduled for Saturday, April 11th. That will be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can get more information on our website about that as well. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for This Week in Ames.